Okay, let's just dive right into this explainer. I mean, look around the corporate landscape today. It literally feels like every single day, another massive company announces huge layoffs. We're talking tens of thousands of jobs just vanishing in a matter of weeks across all the big tech giants and media conglomerates. The headlines are absolutely relentless. And the villain we're all supposed to fear? Artificial intelligence. But what if that whole story is just a carefully crafted illusion? Today, we're uncovering a pretty hushed, urgent truth about this recent wave of corporate layoffs and what's actually going down behind those closed boardroom doors. CEOs are lying. Wow, it's a bold statement, isn't it? But honestly, it's exactly what the data and corporate actions are just screaming at us right now. The mainstream narrative you're hearing on the news, that AI is suddenly so incredibly advanced, it's taking everyone's jobs this very second, is, well, in many ways, it's a complete fabrication. It's basically a highly effective smokescreen designed to hide a much less glamorous, purely financial reality.
Section 1. The AI layoff myth.
So we're being fed this terrifying, super futuristic cover story, right? That AI is replacing you. And sure, it makes the company look cutting edge, lean, and inevitable to their shareholders. It's like they're saying, hey, look at us, we are adopting the future. But beneath all that PR spin, there is a cold, hard, purely financial truth. Companies are desperately trying to fund these incredibly expensive new machines while simultaneously paying off massive amounts of corporate debt. And right now, thanks to literally the highest interest rates we've seen in decades, that debt is incredibly expensive to maintain. So it's actually not a technology revolution displacing workers at this exact moment. Actually, scratch that, it's more like a brutal balance sheet correction. Moving on to Section 2, the corporate debt cover-up. The reality, AI isn't actually replacing these workers yet. I mean, let's be totally honest here. The technology, at least in most practical corporate use cases, simply isn't there yet to independently do the complex jobs of the thousands of project managers, engineers, and creatives being let go. Half the time, the AI still struggles to accurately summarize a simple Zoom meeting, let alone run an entire department. Instead, corporations are firing humans to reallocate that massive chunk of payroll money. They need billions with a B in cash to buy the AI servers, to invest in the data infrastructure, and to service their high-interest debt left over from the zero-interest era. To put that into perspective, a single high-end AI processor can cost upwards of $40,000. And these companies need tens of thousands of them, so firing humans, it's just the fastest way to free up cash to fund the machines. Section 3. Case studies. Block and Oracle. So let's look at how Block actually executed this strategy. They used this flashy, futuristic narrative of pivoting heavily to artificial intelligence as, honestly, a brilliant cover story. But what were they really doing under the hood? They were masking a really expensive debt restructuring phase. By loudly pointing at the shiny new object of AI and promising this leaner, automated future, they totally distracted investors and the public from the reality of their balance sheet. Ultimately, they were just firing workers to fund the machines and pay down their existing obligations. It was a clever way to completely dodge the narrative that they overhired and overleveraged during the boom times.
And then you look at Oracle, and they're running the exact same playbook. AI is the cover story, they're using it to mask expensive debt restructuring, which results in, you guessed it, firing workers to fund the machines. The pattern here is absolutely identical. When you see absolute giants like Block and Oracle making the exact same structural moves and using the exact same PR language about realigning resources for AI, you start to realize, hey, this isn't an isolated incident. This is a systemic cover-up across the entire tech industry. They're all reading from the exact same script because, well, it's a Wall Street-approved way to slash cost without looking like a company in financial distress.
Section 4. The sealed front door. So because these companies are using massive hiring freezes and layoffs to fund their debt and build out their future machine infrastructure, the traditional entry point is basically gone. The front door of corporate hiring is effectively sealed shut. You know that old way of doing things? Polishing your resume, applying online, going through 3 grueling rounds of interviews, and politely knocking on the corporate front door to get a safe, secure job? Yeah, that era is completely over right now. You simply cannot rely on these massive institutions to open the door for you when they are busy boarding it up to balance their books. They're pulling up the ladder, and waiting around for them to drop it back down is a really dangerous game for your livelihood. Which brings us to Section 5, Rise of the Solo Ship. And this brings us to the concept of solo ship. That is, the act of bypassing those sealed corporate doors by creating your own independent work and career path. This is exactly where you take your power back. If the corporate machine is lying to you and shutting you out just to pay off its debts, Stepping away from that machine entirely is absolutely the best way to take control of your future. Solo ship is all about realizing that you don't need their permission. You don't need their front door or their fragile illusion of job security. You can build your own value. And the real irony here? You can leverage these very same AI tools yourself to multiply your own output. You can operate as a one-person powerhouse and forge an entirely independent path that honestly, no CEO can ever lay off.
So this leaves you with a really fundamental choice to make. Will you keep knocking on a sealed door, or will you build your own ship? The corporate world has completely shown its hand. They are prioritizing their balance sheets and their machines over your livelihood, and they're literally using a myth to justify it to the public. So it's time to stop waiting for a corporate savior to open a door that is permanently bolted shut. Take the knowledge from this explainer, recognize the harsh reality of the market right now, and start building your own solo ship today. Because at the end of the day, your future career security depends entirely on you.